Now, last week, I told a story about a trip to Nepal. And telling that story brought us some memories about my very first trip abroad, meaning that my very first trip outside of America, outside of the United States. And this was many years ago, back when I think I was 27 years old, and I really wanted to travel. I was excited to see the world. And because I had never been to another country, I wanted to go someplace super different, very, very different than the United States. I didn't want to go to Europe, too similar. So I decided to go to India. And during the summer, I got my ticket, I flew to India and arrived in Bombay, which seems to have been renamed Mumbai now. I'm not sure which one to call it. I'll call it Bombay because that was the call when I went there. And stay in this part of Bombay that was way on the outside of the city, not in the middle, not where tourists stay, no foreigners stay in this area where I was. So I arrived, went to my hotel, and basically went to bed because of the strong 23 hours, horrible flight, and I was exhausted. I don't know, I slept like 14, 15 hours. And the next day I got up, and of course I went to go into the city center and see some of the famous sites, see kind of tourist stuff and look around the center of Bombay. So I walked to the train station and got onto a train, but I guess I don't know what class, I must have been third class or something, because I climbed into a car. It was basically this big empty train car. So no seat, right? Everybody just sitting on the floor of this big empty rectangular train car. So I got in, I sat down. And I'm excited again. All right, this is amazing. Kind of scared too. You're nervous. This was my first time abroad. I'm in this strange country. I don't know how anything works. So I'm also quite nervous, honestly. And so I sit there and I just kind of thinking myself and imagining what I'm going to do. Train started moving. And I've never paid attention to anyone else in the car. I'm lost in my own thoughts, just in my own head. Where am I gonna go? Where I'm going to eat? I need to exchange money. Just all these practical things going through my head. So I'm sitting there thinking, lost in my own thoughts. And then I looked up and around at the people in the car. First thing I realized, they're all men, no women. I don't know why. They're all men. Second thing I realized is that everyone in that car, 20 to 30 people, were all staring at me. Nobody was talking. It was dead quiet. Because you could hear the sound of the train track into the train, kind of loud, So all this rattling and checking, which is why I guess I didn't really notice that no one was talking. When I looked up and looked around, no one was talking. Everyone was staring silently at me. Now, if you've never been to India, Indians have the way of staring that is unique. When they stare, first of all, no smile. This is the case. When I looked at it, they were not staring at me. They had this kind of flat, emotionless faces. Everyone not look like this. "20 to 30 people staring at me like that." A second thing about Indians is that most of them will not look away when you look back at them. Now, in most countries, you say, you're sitting and someone's staring at you for some reason. If you look up and then you meet their eyes and they see that you see them, In most countries, the people will look away. They look away. For example, I'm in Japan right now, and the Japanese definitely do this. They might stare at me sometimes because I'm a foreigner, blue eyes and all that. But as soon as I look at them, their eye will just go down. They will look away immediately. But on this trip, stuck in this car, I look up, 20, 30 pervy men staring at me. So I look back at them, none of them look away. They all continue staring at me. They would just lock onto my eyes. And again, no smile, nothing. Sometimes in America, if someone is staring at you and you look and you see them, if they don't look away, they usually smile, like they all shake their head. They kind of show that they're being friendly. None of these guys did that. They all just, nobody moved. They kept staring at me. So I'm young, I'm 27, first time into another country. All these guys are looking at me. And they look angry. They look like they're all pissed off. Then when I look at them, none of them look away. They just keep. So oh crap, so I look down and immediately I'm scared to death. Like this is my first time ever in another country. I'm in this car, this guy is moving now, stuck in this car, and this guy looked mean. They look unfriendly, they look mean. So I can think about, oh crap, maybe it's because American, maybe they don't like Americans, maybe they hate Americans. And somehow they know I'm American. I also look quite strange. Before the trip, I shaved my head. So I was pretty much bald. And at that time, I worked like us. I have these little round wire glasses, and I was bald. So looking down, and these thoughts start going to my head faster and faster. Oh crap. This guy hate Americans. This guy, they probably hate Americans. What are they gonna do? Maybe they're gonna rob me. Maybe they want to steal from me. Maybe they're gonna attack me. So I glanced up again, thinking maybe they changed their mind or they got bored. They all still looking at me, staring at me, like a stone face. No one looks away. No one says anything. Not a smile, not a nod of the head, nothing. They look like serial killers. Like, look at our motion, I'm thinking, they're just going to kill me without feelings. So my heart started beating. My heart started beating. Again, I look down, I just staring at the ground, and what the hell am I going to do? What am I going to do? What if they try to rob me? I had my bag with me, little backpack. Of course, I have some money with me and a bunch of US dollars to exchange. So that's my first thought is they're going to try to rob me, to try to steal from me, take my money. And maybe they're going to beat me up, beat the crap out of me when they rob me. So maybe if I just give them the money, maybe they won't hurt me. If I look out the door, it's like an open door on the train. So I'm thinking maybe I could just jump out right now. Glance over, but the train is going too fast. So if I hurt myself, if I break my legs, if I try to jump out and escape. So my heart's beating fast, then my mind's getting beating faster. I'm thinking, maybe I can fight them. But, we're just skinny kid. And I'm not very much muscular now, but by that time, I was skinny. I mean, like, no muscle at all. So and there's 20, 30 of them. Even though I was still bigger than most of them, there's no way I'm going to fight off all of those guys. So I'm thinking, I'm panicking. Like I ask myself again, what the hell am I going to do? What the hell am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this? So this is my first day, my first morning abroad in my very first trip. I'm going to be beat up or robbed or killed. As I'm thinking about this, I started sweating. And I'm terrified to look up again, okay? Not against. In my mind, I'm kind of crazy at this point. My mind, I'm thinking if I look at them, that's gonna make them angry, and that's when they're gonna attack. I don't know. Maybe sometimes with a dog, a wild dog, that's aggressive, that bites people. They tell you don't look them in the eye, don't look the dog in the eye because the dog thinks it's a challenge, and that can cause the dog to attack you. So you actually avoid looking at the dog. Don't look at the dog's eye. So I think it's sort of the same kind of thinking going through my head. Don't look up again. Don't meet their eyes because you might provoke, you might cause them to attack. All right, I'll tell you the conclusion of this story in a minute. First, let's go to Twitter. As you know, I like to answer listeners, fans, members, Twitter questions or comments. So let's see what Twitter has for me today. Okay, for first, Gopi1510, who actually is used from India. What do you know? And he asked, what about reading comic books or newspaper and listening to the news? Are these good ways to practice and improve my English? Well, absolutely yes. Fantastic way to improve your English. In fact, there actually have been several research studies, academic studies about comic book reading and whether comic book reading helps with reading skill, with vocabulary, with grammar, and with writing. And with what the research study found was that yes, in fact, reading comic books does help all of those things. Reading comic books, great idea. If you like comics, read lots and lots of comic books. In English, not for adults, they call graphic novels. Right? Adults who like comic books or comic books that are about adult subject, we call them graphic novels. They're not just comic book really, but it's kind of is an adult name for comic books. For example, you might know this movie 300 came out a few years ago. It's about the Spartan fighting the Persian in ancient Greeks. That movie was originally a graphic novel, a comic book. And the writer, Frank Miller, he's done several. He's done a Batman one. He's done a bunch of them. So you can read his graphic novel, his comic book. Or if you like Spider-Man or whatever, read. They actually have a lot of vocabulary in them. So that's really great. And the other cool thing about comic book is they have pictures. And the picture can make it easier to guess the meaning of new or unknown words, right? Because you can see the picture, you can guess what's happening, and that can help you understand the situation, the context, and therefore the English. So, thumbs up on comic books, read them. If you like them. If you don't like comic books, read something else. It's all with the rules, like reading and listening. Choose things that you enjoy. If you enjoy comic books, absolutely, they are effective. All right, here's a common one. Ahmed Yusuf said, "Hi, Mr. AJ, I really appreciate your advice, improve your English. I'm good in listening, but I'm nervous when I speak." Super common. So first of all, if you look at good at listening, that's great because you're ahead of most people. So that's really good news. However, if you're nervous speaking, here's my best advice. Do more repeat listening. So for speaking, we don't need tons of vocabulary, lots of vocabulary. You need to master the most common vocabulary to speak well. Now, to understand well, to listen well, you have to understand lots of vocabulary, a lot more. But for active vocabulary, meaning you can actually use it well, quickly, when you speak, you don't need as much. You can communicate very effectively even with, a fairly small number of words. By fairly small, I mean, 5,000, let's say. Now, to get those words really deep into your brain, to make them automatic, you need to hear them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times each, maybe even thousands of times. And the best way to do that is to repeat your favorite audios again and again and again. So if you're using my courses, for example, listen to each of those lesson set 30 times or more each, 50 times or more each. Repeat them again. Listen to those audios 3 times a day for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or more. And then go to the next one, and then after a couple months, go back and review those things and again all those audio and listen to them even more times. With all that repetition, those phrases, those words, and the pronunciation, they all go deeper, deeper, deeper. You find that you start using them automatically. In the beginning, just a few at a time, but eventually more and more. This is exactly what happened with small children learning their own language. All right, that's Twitter for now. Back to the story. I remember that I was in this railroad car. No seat, nothing, kind of dirty. 20, 30, I don't remember exactly the number, 20 to 30 Indian men staring at me with the look of that killer look, like a heartless, emotionless face of stone. We call it a stony face, just right, like killers, really. And I'm panicking. I'm trying to think, how am I going to escape this situation? And a few solutions came into my mind very quickly. As my heart's beating, I'm sweating, I'm panicking. Not just fear, it's panic. It's extreme fear at this point. Times go on. So first I look at the door, it's open. I think I can just stand up, run and jump out and escape. If I do it quickly, I'll swipe them and I'll get away. But then I realized the train's going too fast. If I do that, I'm going to break my leg or hurt myself or kill myself. So can't do that. So then I think, well, I got to fight. But I'm just kind of skinny kid. I'm not much of a fighter. Especially then I was 27, no muscles. The 20, 30 of these guys, they look really tough and scary. Then I realized there's no way I'm gonna fight all these guys. No way. So I then think maybe they're just gonna rob. Maybe they're just gonna steal my money and my things. Maybe if I just give them the money and the bags without a fight, maybe they leave me alone. Maybe they won't hurt me. Of course, that would have been terrible. Oh God, first day I lose all my money and my ID and my passports and everything. So you panic, oh crap, what will I do? I will lose my passport and my money. No. Just looking down, and I'm terrified. And in this kind of terror and fear, I find it just like, are they getting closer? What are they doing? And then glance up, they're all still staring at me. That hate in their eyes. And because I'm afraid, I'm nervous, I kind of give them this kind of panic smile. A kind of fearful, panicky smile. Like that, And when I do that, bam, the whole spell, the whole situation shatters, breaks. In an instant, every face in that railroad car, every single one of them break into this huge smile. They all just a huge smile. I light up and they all move towards me. they're all extending their hand to shake my hands, kind of pushing each other out of the way to be the first one to shake my hand. Oh, hi, sir. How are you? Where are you from? Excited. I was totally shocked. What the hell is happening? These guys were going to kill me and rob me, and now they are the big Chris. Hi, sir. How are you? They call me sir. So, oh, hi. I put my hand down. I'm from America. I'm still worried. Like maybe they hate Americans. They're gonna be angry. Oh, America, New York, California. You know, almost everyone I travel over the food scarcity is New York and California. But at that time, I was from Georgia. No. I'm from Georgia. Where is Georgia? What is Georgia? So I start talking. Well, it's in the southeast. And then they start joking with me. Oh, you look like Gandhi. You look like Gandhi. You're kind of shaped. You have the glasses. Oh, Gandhi, you look like Gandhi. They start laughing instead of joking. They're like Indians when they're friendly with you. They'll touch and they can pat me on the arm, on the shoulders. And so the rest of the train ride, probably 20 to 25 minutes, just asking me tons and tons of questions. They're smiling. They're excited that they start asking about American culture. You know Michael Jackson? You like Michael Jackson? They start showing their dancing move. It's crazy. And then we arrive at the final train station downtown. They all start, kind of pat me in the back. Oh, have a good day. Good luck to you. Welcome to India. Enjoy India. Enjoy Mumbai. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye. And they're waving me off. They have this huge smile on my face. I feel fantastic. And just wonderful. And walking away. And so I'm walking away. I think back to just 30 minutes ago, 30 minutes before, and I feel like a total asshole. Just a jackass. Like a stupid jackass. Then I'm sitting here thinking all these super friendly guys are going to hurt me and kill me and rob me and beat me up. There's all that crazy crap going through my head. We'll come back to this in a minute. A couple more Twitter questions. I'll tell you about the rest of the story. Finish up the story. All right, back on Twitter. Okay. Carla, one of our superstars, who I've actually met in Istanbul, she asked, "Do you like the movie Whiplash?" She just recently started watching movie Whiplash and recommended it. I haven't seen that movie yet, so it's about a drummer. It's about a kid. A student, meaning like college age maybe, who's a drummer. He's learning. He wants to be a professional drummer, a great drummer. He has a teacher who's quite tough, who pushes him to become great. And I've heard it's a great movie, but actually I haven't seen it yet. So maybe I'll give a review about it in the future. But if you like music, you heard it's a great movie. So you're looking for a movie that's in English, that is interesting, who have a good message, that might be a good one. All right, next Twitter question. This is more a comment. Harry Tritsai said, "AJ, you are the Steve Jobs of the English teaching industry." Well, I hope so. Let's hope everything become as big as Apple. Well, we have a long way to go. But thank you. We'll be able to start wearing black turtleneck shirt instead of the suit and the tie, and start wearing just a black shirt and jeans. Cut my hair close and go back to wearing those boys black like Steve Jobs were wearing. All right. Let's see. All right. And let's see. This is actually favorite people on Twitter have commented about combining exercising and learning English, doing them both at the same time. So I think we could start by me posting on Twitter about my own Spanish, talking about how I have been listening to Spanish while running. So I'm running. I'm training for. First, I'm training for being a hike in Spain. That's coming up in May, April, May, June. But then it's September. So I'll be sure I'll be doing a 15 miles race run. I'm not racing, and just a 50-mile run, which is about, I think, 85, 90 kilometers. That's an that's a double marathon. So it's a big, long race. I've never gone that far ever. I've done a regular marathon before, but the double marathon, it's so scared to think about because it seems so tough. It's a long time to train for that, almost a whole year for me to train for that race in September. So of course, I'm doing a lot of running. So I realized, well, I should combine them both. I can use my time efficiently while I run. I can also listen to Spanish, so I can be learning and improving my Spanish, and at the same time, getting healthier and stronger. So when I posted that, lots of other effortless English members on Twitter has responded saying that they too use this technique. They go outside, they go walking or running with the MP3 player, and they listen to effortless English lesson at the same time. So really, it's a great way to combine two fantastic activities, walking or running, getting healthy, and learning English at the same time. Now, the other cool thing about this is that because you're walking or running, you will naturally have more energy, right? You're creating a lot of energy in your body. And when you create energy in your body, it energizes your mind also. And when you have more energy, it's easier to concentrate. And when you concentrate better, guess what? You learn faster. So by listening to English while walking or running, you actually learn English faster. It's a more effective method than just sitting on your butt getting sleepy, right? So I highly recommend whenever you can, use my effortless English lesson, but do it while you're out walking. Get out and move, get outside. Or you can do it while you're riding a bicycle, going for a hike, anything like that. All right, time to finish the story about my very first trip in India. So I have all those ideas in my head, all that fear, all that panicking in my head, caused by really a misunderstanding, a different culture, right? That kind of behavior in the United States, someone just staring at you, and they're not looking away, they're not smiling. That's it, aggressive. Behavior in America is someone that's made in the United States on the subway. You're like, I realize, this person might be dangerous. They might be crazy or danger. But in India, it's very, very normal for people to say something. They're just staring at me because I look strange to them. I work in an area where they never have tourists or foreigners. And I look kind of weird. I shave head, glasses, like kind of like Gandhi and really thin, blue eyes, American Gandhi or something. It's kind of strange to them. So that's all it was. And that experience really taught me about a valuable lesson. I'm happy that it happened on my first day of travel. The very first day, full day, when I was outside of America, I had that experience. Because it taught me that most of the fear was in my own head. That we create most of that fear. When we think other people are judging us, when we think other people want to hurt us. Yes, there are dangerous people in the world. That there are people who are trying to hurt you, and you need to be able to defend yourself against them and deal with them, definitely. But most of the time, it's just not the case. Most of the time, it's in our own head. We are curating it with our own crazy thoughts and fear and insecurity. I see this with English learners a lot. No, you don't think that people are going to attack you, but with English learners often fear being judged, having your grammar judged, having your pronunciations judged. You fear that when you speak English, other people, especially American or British people, native speakers, you fear that they're going to think that you're stupid or you're foolish or you're going to be annoyed with you. They're going to think bad things about you. Oh God, this person speaking making a lot of grammar mistakes. The grammar is terrible, right? I know, I talk so many talks to, I know lots of people think that and fear that. And fear making this mistake. They think that people are judging them when they're speaking. The simple truth is, they're not. Maybe 1% of the people are kind of jerks. 99% of the people, they're not judging you. They don't care. They don't care if you make a grammar mistake. They don't care. It's in your head. You're creating all this nervous and fears and all this. It's just all in here. All in here. I know it's come from being corrected in school. It comes from this fear of making mistakes and not being perfect with the way we learn in school. When at the places, I know where it comes from. But we need to realize that these are crazy thoughts. These are crazy thoughts that they're only hurting ourselves. Another lesson I learned from that experience was that often all you need to do is just make the first little effort to connect. It's tough for me sometimes. I'm actually quite an introvert, meaning I'm not super social with people I don't know. Where I just walk up to people and say, "Hey, how you doing? My name's AJ." You know, I'm pretty quiet. When I'm with people I don't know, it's my natural tendency, my natural personality. This is a kind of common situation, right? You might be in public, you're in a train like I was. You might be in the restaurant, you might be at a party, in a meeting, whatever, a business meeting, and everybody's kind of quiet, right? I would just look in the face, the kind of blank, and you might again start thinking, oh, these people, they're not friendly, they're cold. But if you just make the first effort, what is really just everything thinking this exactly the same. They're all thinking that exactly that same. Maybe these people aren't very friendly. That's what everyone in the room was thinking. Just like in that train, maybe they were thinking, maybe that guy is weird. Like he looks really strange. This American dude, his hair, and he's just looking down. He won't look at us. Maybe he doesn't like Indian people. You know, I don't know. Maybe we're thinking thought like that too. And I thought often that's actually going on, right? Just needs one person. One person needs to just look up and look someone in his eye and smile and say, hi, I'm AJ. How are you? Right? In that Indian train, I didn't even to talk. I just look at someone in the eye and give them a little smile. Even though it's a nervous, fearful smile, it still works, right? I smiled and it broke all the stress, all the tension, completely changed the whole situation. That was a valuable lesson to learn. I have to remind myself of this sometimes. When I get in the situation and feeling shy and quiet, I feel like everyone else is also they unfriendly. They got to remind myself. I remember that time in India. They're probably just shy and quiet too. Someone just need to say hi and give a smile, and then suddenly all the pressure is everyone else starts smiling and people start chatting. And everyone will appreciate when you do it. So again, don't worry about your English. But just a little smile and a hello, you can make that connection. It doesn't matter if your English is not very good. Nobody is going to care about that. Powerful just being the person who gives you a smile, looks someone in the eye, and just say hello. That's just one word in English, right? It's more about your attitude, your face, and being the person to take the initiative, to take that risk, to connect. And when you do that, you're going to find that most people, I don't know the exact percent, 80%, 90%, whatever, most people going to smile back, and also say hello, and start chatting with you. And a lot of parts of the United States, if you visit America, people love to talk where I'm from in the South, they love talking to strangers. So if you just smile and say hello, most people, they will have happy to chat with you. Someone at the part of the country, people are a little more quiet. They won't talk quite so much to strangers. But again, I think you'll find by giving that smile and that greeting, people are happy to talk to you. And most people don't care how good or bad your English is. All right, I like to end always with our code in our mission. That code simply describes how we treat each other in the Effortless English family, our members, our fans. Very, very simple. Number one, we do the best we can. We know we can't be perfect. We know we will make mistakes. We do the best we can. Number two, we do the right thing. We try to be helpful. We try to be honest. Number three, we show each other we care. We help each other. We're not competing as we're better. We help each other in the effective English family. Very powerful. Our mission, our deep mission, to explore new opportunity for growth. We're also trying to learn and grow, to bring confidence, vitality, and happiness to people all over the world. Mean helping other people around the world to boldly where we have never gone before. Meaning to explore and learn within an attitude of boldness, to have courage, to have strength, not to be afraid. All right, that's it for our show. Follow me on Twitter at AJHoge, AJHoge. Ask me a question. I'll share more detail and information about the show on Twitter during this following week. And of course, as always, go to effortlessenglishclub.com to learn more about my effortless English courses. I will see you next time. Have a great week. Bye for now.